That will never happen to me is something you should never ever say again. Hi everyone, this is Cesar Pineda, Farmers Insurance Agent in South Norwalk, Connecticut. Again, working from my home in Ridgefield. Hope you're all having a good quarantine so far. Hopefully you are staying inside. Today I will be talking to you about a subject that doesn't get enough attention, even though it's something that we're very exposed to, that we see in the news happen year to year, and we see how much this affects people who are victims of it. And yet, when it's brought up, most people say, that will never happen to you. So today I will be talking to you about flood insurance. Did you know that over 80% of homes that were damaged during Hurricane Harvey were uninsured? Most of those people had no flood insurance and therefore no insurance coverage whatsoever, and they ended up having to pay out of pocket for rebuilding or repairing their homes. That is awful. And did you know that every state has dealt with at least 2 major floods over the last 10 years? Something to think about, right? And unfortunately, we are in a world where it seems like the coast is coming up and up and up and up, and it is expected that in the next few decades, over 50% of the coastal areas will be overtaken by water. That is no small feat. So today I'm going to be talking to you about what is flood insurance, what does it cover, what does it not cover, and why you should be calling an insurance agent and asking them about flood insurance, especially if your mortgage doesn't already require it. So let's start by stating the not so obvious. Homeowners insurance does not cover flood. The only way to be covered for flood is if you have a flood insurance policy. This can be covered through the NFIP program or the government, or nowadays there are some private flood companies that are popping up here and there. But that will be the only type of coverage available if you are a victim of a flood. So take a look at this picture on the screen right now. Where do you think this happened? In Texas after Hurricane Harvey? In New York after Hurricane Irene? No, actually this was taken right here in Norwalk, Connecticut, on the main Avenue Shopping Plaza, close to the Merritt Parkway. Now that's pretty high up there. The big misconception is that if I'm not close to the water, I don't have to worry about flood. But as you can see in this picture, we've been dealing with it. This was widely reported and everyone knew that it happened. But yet for some reason, people still have a hard time saying that they are interested in flood insurance. Crazy, right? So what is usually covered by your flood insurance? Well, that could be split into 2 parts. The first one is building coverage, which will take care of any structural components of the home, like the foundation, the electrical and plumbing systems, central air conditioning equipment, furnaces and water heaters, refrigerators, cooking stoves, and built-in appliances such as dishwashers, permanently installed carpeting over an unfinished floor, permanently installed paneling, wallboard, bookcases, and cabinets, window blinds, and debris removal. Now for areas below the lowest elevated floor, coverage includes foundation walls, anchorage systems, and staircases attached to the building, central air conditioner, toilets and the water in them, electrical outlets, switches, and circuit breaker boxes, fuel tanks and the fuel in them, solar energy equipment, and well water tanks and pumps, furnaces, water heaters, heat pumps, and sump pumps. And the following items are covered in basements only: drywall for walls and ceilings, non-flammable insulation. Next, we have contents coverage. Now, what is covered? Personal belongings such as clothing, furniture, and electronic equipment, curtains, portable and window air conditioners, portable microwave ovens and portable dishwashers, carpets not included in building coverage, clothes washers and dryers, food freezers and the food in them, and certain valuable items such as original artwork and furs, up to $2,500. If those contents are below the lowest elevated floor, that would include washers and dryers, food freezers and the food in them, but not refrigerators, and portable and window air conditioners. So those are some of the actual words directly on the NFIP page of what this policy would cover. To simplify that a bit, you're worrying about your stuff being the structure and your stuff being the things that got damaged during a flood. So I think that it is very, very important for people who are in a flood zone or are not in a flood zone to inquire about flood insurance, because if we ever did have a Hurricane Harvey or a Hurricane Irene, which hit Connecticut, you would be dealing with a very, very catastrophic loss probably. Now let's talk about some things that would not be covered by your flood insurance. Damage caused by moisture, mildew, or mold that could have been avoided by the property owner. Living expenses such as temporary housing. Most self-propelled vehicles such as cars, including their parts. Currency, precious metals, and valuable papers such as stock certificates. Property and belongings outside of a building such as trees, plants, shrubs, wells, septic systems, walks, decks, patios, fences, seawalls, hot tubs, and swimming pools. Financial losses caused by business interruption or loss of use of insured property. Any damage caused by seepage or any subsurface water flow, a condition or flow of water beneath the Earth's surface. So those are just some of the things that would not be typically covered by your flood insurance. Now you're probably wondering, why should I get this, especially if my mortgage doesn't require me to? Well, even if you're not in a mandated flood zone and are required by your mortgage company to carry flood insurance, you could still be susceptible to flood. The fact is that if where you live it rains, it can flood. Especially if you're not in a mandated flood zone, premiums can actually be very cheap and a fraction of the price that you would have to pay if you did not carry this policy and you had a flood. So just some tips for you to think about. This can happen to anyone. And like many things like life insurance and insurance in general, you kind of already know that you should have it. You might have been putting it off, but this is something that can turn out to be a huge deal, and it could blow up in your face. So don't leave it for tomorrow if you could do it today. So that was a very brief description of what flood insurance is and why you should look into it. I am always available for quotes. You can reach me at 203-803-2153. We are 100% up and running 8:30 to 5:30 Monday through Friday, and we can help you bind coverage over the phone, go over proposals, compare coverage to what you currently have, and help you with anything we can. So reach me for flood insurance, home insurance, or anything else. I look forward to working with you and helping you save money, getting better coverage, and be educated about why insurance is so important. Thank you guys, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.